Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the European ESL One Cologne qualifiers. I'm joined by Alex Machine Richardson, who's just had a cracking game, honestly. Kingwin cruising to victory. It's safe to say 12-3, mate. 12-3 on one half. That's a bit of a...
I guess that's a cruise. That's a bit of a cruise. They had their feet up. They were enjoying the sunny weather. Yeah, it was incredible. Truly a fantastic game to watch, though, because when you see Kingwin Dignitas on paper, you don't see a 12-3 half. You never see a 12-3 half. So really cool to see results like that taking shape, and I'm really excited to see what Kingwin can do with that spot at the major. Well, meanwhile, of course, next up is FlipSid. They're going to be facing off against KILLERFISH. This is a repeat of the first round, actually, in the winner bracket. FlipSid, you can see once again, no Simple in this lineup. He's gone off to create his own team. He was also banned from ESL, so wouldn't have been here nonetheless. It is the same lineup that performed at Katowice in the major. Can they make it again? They have to get past KILLERFISH. There's Johnny on your screen. Had an interview with him earlier on. Very confident guy, speaking English as a team, new to the team alongside Schneider, also standing in. Very good team, honestly. They beat FlipSid already, as you saw. We are on Mirage in the little corner bubble there. Corner bubble, I'm not too sure the exact name of it. But it is Mirage. It was 16-14 to KILLERFISH already. That's today. How much will that play in the minds of FlipSid? See, this is what's confused me, is because if they wanted to avoid Mirage, they had 3 opportunities to do so.
But this is the issue. I don't, obviously, because I talked to Johnny earlier on. They knew it was going to be Mirage. They angled it to get to Mirage. And for FlipSid, they're happy to take it to Mirage because that's their home map. That's their best map. So,
can we say that it was? We are not looking at the same FlipSid that were incredible at Mirage, because Simple...
Still same team, though. I mean, when they had Cyber Focus stand in now and again. I'm looking towards the Pro League, obviously, when we had them playing it there. Granted, they finished bottom of the league.
With 2 wins,
With 2 wins. But Mirage was still their best team, their best map. They feel it that way. Obviously, they've had good results elsewhere. But as you say, it's a very different FlipSid without Simple.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's not going to necessarily be a problem for them, though, because they can kind of focus a little better. I can't help but say that without like this certainty in the roster, like knowing Davkos is a stand-in, knowing that you can't make as much progress, like for example, getting to a major, that feels like team progress.
Yeah.
Making progress with 4 just feels flimsy, and it doesn't feel like FlipSid really are in the best state of mind, in the best position to take that next step.
But KILLERFISH are in the same situation.
True, to be fair, yeah, with Schneider.
Yeah, well, and with Johnny, apparently. But yeah, they performed brilliantly. 10-5 was the score on the T side for KILLERFISH earlier on. FlipSid obviously managed to pull it back, but it ended up 16-14. So very close game. KILLERFISH felt they actually could have done a lot better as well. So not only was it a bit of a shocking result, certainly for anyone watching, weren't expecting KILLERFISH to take down FlipSid with ease, but they actually felt they made mistakes and it could have been better. So this is a real big test for FlipSid.
So during your interview with Johnny, did you question the communicating in English factor?
Yes. He said actually everybody speaks English perfectly fine. Johnny said he's new to the team as well. So he's used to speaking in English. Schneider, perfectly fine. They discussed calls, etc. It says you will have the occasional problem where somebody's trying to make a call, and it'll just be like, they'll come out with the German word for it or something, but they kind of get in the picture.
Yeah, I mean, I play with a lot of Germans when I play, and action is a word they like to use. He's in action. I'm like, where on earth is action?
He's in pit. It's like, that's not pit, that's barbecue. Wait. It's a different pit.
They mix it up. They do like to mix it up.
Technically it's a pit.
Yeah, there's lots of pits. There's pits everywhere. But I think it might very well be time for this one. Actually, I do see...
They've aborted it.
Snyder did abort the countdown. So we're going to get into this one so very shortly. And, you know, this is going to be the end of the line for one of these teams at the end of this one. FlipSid and KILLERFISH. The fact that they've met before and, like, the same map, the same day... I don't know who this favors anymore, Lee. Like, it just confuses me. I'm staring at it like, okay, KILLERFISH saying they could have done better on this very map. Now we're playing it again. Let's see if they were telling the truth.
Well, and for FlipSid, they've already been to overtime once already against Penta. So on Overpass, and that was actually very close. They could have easily gone out of that. There's no doubt about it. That, you know, Penta could have taken them. So it could have been Penta facing KILLERFISH here, the old German affair. But it wasn't to be. FlipSid clearly got something that he dug in. Markelov actually suddenly showed up a little bit in that one. Davkos played the best game he's had. He dropped a 30 bomb.
It was so good to watch, actually. really influential with the AWP. And the discussion I was having kind of off air was about, you know, World Edit and Davkos with his flexibility in the AWP. The only reason I think was what they said to me was the only reason he's picking it up was because it was his role. He was holding toilets and he did that best with an AWP.
Right.
So it wasn't necessarily a decision of, you know, World Edit wasn't feeling it or anything like that. World Edit will be
because he took it on T side, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. They swapped it back up. So World Edit will be the main AWPer still, but Davkos, I mean, he was really influential with that, and it's time.
Yeah, on this map now, World Edit used to go to B. Yes, he is going to be again. So he's going to be in that same situation. So we'll see whether he takes an AWP eventually over. He's going to be the man on Van. That's exactly where KILLERFISH are heading right now. We do see just the one still lingering, trying to be the distracting factor on A. Now, if you'd have watched KILLERFISH actually earlier on, they did that tactic where they tried to have the lone man with the bomb go into A site while everybody else went in B. This time they're not going to do it, but they're still distracting over on A.
And it's the same man as well. It was Tassin who went over towards A last time, and they're trying to sell the same story, but it's not going to be the same effect, as it looks like they've kind of caught on. FlipSid rotating nicely on towards B. I think they must have caught a glimpse of the bomb in the hands of Johnny, and talking of him, he's actually going to be caught out. Davkos actually does go down. What on earth? A flurry of frags, and now all onto Markelov, and he's not going to be long for this world as well. KILLERFISH, so damn loud every single round. I'm pretty sure last time I was casting and I had them in front of me, I could hear them cheering. We assumed they were near victory. They picked up the first round.
They just picked up the one round.
So we're going to be hearing these guys scream a lot, and that's really, really cool to have teams that vocal. I was speaking to Bondic just before we went on, and he said, actually, when teams are like that, when they can cheer after every round and they have that mindset, it's quite intimidating to play against.
Yeah. It's something that French teams used to have a lot of, actually. They were always a vocal lot. But yeah, KILLERFISH definitely very vocal. So they've gone for a couple of AKs, P90. Once again, Schneider with that MAC-10. Now they're going to burst into A site, and there is only Blade in there. They're actually stacked out on B site with the pistols. And unfortunately, that means it's going to have to be a retake opportunity. Team kill. Schneider gets taken down by Tony. What went wrong there? Don't think it's going to affect them too badly, but Tarsin and Tony suddenly tagged very low. The retake is possible. Tarsin's covering the back here. Bondic's going to come around the side. If he manages to catch him off guard, he does. It's a quick kill, and Tony now and Robson trying to hold this off.
Yeah, Robson does something with a P90. It's into a 1v1. Both of them low on health. Both of them, it's all going to come down to who finds who first, and Bondic's the one hunting. It's going to be easy for Tony, and he does secure the second for his team, but that was the hardest we have seen KILLERFISH fight for a second round. Not neat, not tidy, and they're going to be lucky to pick the second up.
He's going to kick himself, because if you look at the cursor position, he was jumping up, yet he was looking down. So I was trying to obviously look to where to jump, but if he was just looking slightly up, he would have caught him. The second he'd have caught that leg peeking out. But anyway, 2-0 start KILLERFISH is exactly how they started last time. It was a great start for them. Clearly the pistols are a big thing for them, and they have some creative tactics. Wow, a double push through underpass. That's going to get shut down, you would feel, by Tarsin, but he's down to 1 health. He's going to have to get out of there. Meanwhile, the rest of his team, though, have done damage over on A side. Tarsin, actually the only man that's in trouble, because Davkos is the last man standing.
Yeah, Benny Hill theme tune, please, as he is going to be going down. Yakety Sax is what it's actually called.
Yakety Sax, that's it. Don't look back.
Bomb goes in, though, from Robson. Oh, no, it didn't. Not going to happen, just the last second on that one. Still, though, KILLERFISH securing the third, and it's gun time. It's going to be it's time to see. Actually, you know, I said it. I said well that it was going to pick it up, and Davkos is picking the AWP up once again. So impressed perhaps by his performance over on Overpass, and they're giving him a jab over on CC side Mirage.
I think if this is one of the maps where they'll probably go double AWP if they get the money.
If they get the money,
yeah. But World Edit at the moment, we see Markelov actually is the man that's going to go short. Davkos window, but we see on the minimap it is going to be a hit. And again, Bondic, he's got the support of Blade, who's lingering in and around jungle. Bondic ready and waiting for this one. Schneider creeping in the smoke there, just waiting for it to clear. Tarsin, Robson, think smoke's going out. Here we go. This is going to be the push. KILLERFISH going in.
Yeah, and Davkos does draw first blood. That's Johnny now down, and he's going to be trying to coordinate from the sidelines now, as not too sure how much Davkos can do here. Not trying to make an impact too much, as he does miss the shot. Finds the second, though, as this is a big connection from Davkos. He found 2 already, and now it comes down to the remaining 3 to piece this defense together.
Schneider with a great double there, just peeking out, backing away. Still not got the bomb plant down there. World Edit now on the rotate. Is he going to go for that AWP? There's an AWP line nearby him. Markelov in jungle. And still Robson and Tony yet to cross. They're waiting for Schneider to make this massive rotation. He's going to take the big wraparound to get into towards connector. And this is actually pretty disciplined for Tony and Robson to wait. Schneider's clearly give a big shout. It's like, wait, stop. They're like little dogs ready to go.
Yeah, they are, just chomping at the bit. And I'm not too sure, with 20 seconds left, whether this is the wisest choice. It gives World Edit and Markelov time to ready themselves, and, you know, you stop that plant from going down with 15 seconds left, and the round is yours. Markelov makes it difficult, as now it's all going to be down to Tony and Schneider. Find another one. Well, did it find it? And 9 seconds left. Snyder's sitting there going, bad call. That's most definitely what it was. They waited just a little too long, and it's going to be an easy one for FlipSid.
Yeah, that was
odd.
Rough, weird round to end with there.
I'm still, I'm scratching my head, and so are they going to be, as that one has slipped away from them. And FlipSid securing the first real gun round. That's a necessity for them.
And World Edit recovered the AWP as well, so that's gone back over to Davcost. So he'll pick that up. And really, FlipSid with that first round on the board. Let's see if they can get rolling here. This is one of those maps where if you can get your economy in a good shape on CT, it's very hard for the T's to break through. Davcost mollied out there, slowing down, stopping that quick peak, which he was clearly going for. And that gives them mid-control. KILLERFISH, 4 members in there, but make that 3 again because Schneider's just got annihilated by Davcost.
Yeah, solid once again. Davcost hitting his shots, and it's understandable why they're putting the AWP in his hands. Blade, though, onto Tarsin. Advantage once again for the defenders of FlipSid. Looks like, you're going to get caught out. It was actually Robson who got caught out this time. Tony trying to push out on Avenge, and he does with just the Tech 9. That's going to be just the push they needed to start committing towards B, and it's going to be Well Did It lying in wait as he readies himself with a flash.
Pops the flash out there. That's going to catch out Johnny. He caught himself as well. Not ideal, but it's enough to slow them down as the rest of his team get around. There's one tag. Just needs the last man. Johnny moving into sight. No chance of getting this plant down as Davcost comes back around behind him as well. They're just kind of lurking on his position. Nobody peeking for him. Johnny get a good tag onto World Edit, but he will finish him off in the end there. And FlipSid pick up their second round confidently. KILLERFISH, they've gained mid-control, but couldn't really do a great deal with it. And now, financially, they're in trouble. They're going to go with a couple of pistols. Is it going to be a 5-man rush? Looks like it will be. Is it all going to be going A side? Everything piling up to ramp.
Yeah, this could be their I was going to say in execute, excuse me.
Schneider's
absolutely zero utility for them. So just 4 P250s and the Glock for Snyder.
Blade on stairs. He's in perfect spot to catch them out here as well. As soon as they come around that corner, there's the one. All the information they needed. Davcost backing him up, bonding him over at toll booth as well. It's going to be very tricky if they can get anything from this. A simple kill, it's about as best they can hope for. And as you see, it's a clean-up duty for FlipSid. So, all square, 3-3, back to the rifles. KILLERFISH, this is the round they need because FlipSid are starting to cruise.
Yeah, we don't want FlipSid to hit their stride, believe it or not. As poetic as it may sound, it's really going to be a threat because they have looked a little wobbly, and that's something that they admit themselves. I think Markelov said himself that they haven't had much time to prepare, but they're still pretty confident, and he said that their playstyle hasn't changed since the last major, which is interesting to hear from Markelov himself, saying that there hasn't been too much development from FlipSid after such a long period of time. Well, that it does just throw one into the pocket of Snyder. Looks like he's going to be in trouble himself, but he just get babysat by Markelov, the aforementioned leader.
This is a great little crossfire they got set up there. Standard stuff and working well for them. It does mean they gave up control of mid, but Blade, I think Tarsin's going to look away just at the wrong moment. No, Markelov knows he's coming from short. As soon as he comes around this corner, but Tarsin manages to get himself a second on Bondic. Starting to make it expensive for FlipSid now. World Edit just on 2 health as well. 5 health, sorry. But that bomb is very and truly on lockdown at B site, and it's all on Tarsin. Davcost about to come around the corner. Can he make it a triple? Oh, so close. And then quick in succession. Both go down. FlipSid do secure the round. Only lost 2 in there in the end. So, Bondic said, these guys have that puggy style. It's very difficult to predict a puggy style. And so, whether that weighs into the mind of Blade when he makes these calls, whether he's, adapting his team's playstyle to deal with this puggy style. It's on a map like Mirage, which usually you would consider you need some degree of kind of team coordination, especially on that T side, and it looks like they're going to do a little bit of that here, as they just want to be setting something up with their little scraps of utility that they do have. 3 players of the 5 have armor. No head armor across the board, though, and just the one smoke to try and lead this team into the site. Went with the distraction as well, that little smoke. Look, there's one over in the middle. They also went one for stairs, which has kind of distracted him. You can see Davcost, he's looking for middle, frantically expecting something to come. But meanwhile, we can see they're setting up for A-ramp. They may have delayed a little bit too long here because he's given Blade a chance to get a peek around Tony. Also around the side, he peeks around, gets a 1-for-1 trade. Davcost even things up as well. Has to try and switch the pistol, but Markelov from toll booth absolutely guns them down. And Robson easily taken care of. And that was, again, another solid hold from FlipSid.
Yeah, solid is the kind of biggest word that we're going to be saying for FlipSide at the moment. With 5 in a row, it's kind of terrifying now, maybe for KILLERFISH, as they are going to be picking up the weapons once again. Robson is going to be putting the AWP in his hands as he's going to be trying his best to challenge Davkost, who has been real influential. I think he's towards the top of the score, but actually picking up 6 frags, second from the highest. Looks like we're going to see Davkost chunk down. This is something different, though, as that's going to be a KILLERFISH starting it strong. Markelov down on short. This could be what they need as they start to flood in towards this B site. And Davkost with 10 points of health and an AWP isn't going to be long for this world. Johnny there onto him with the AK. And 3 players remaining. And well, that it actually stealing that AWP to try and find a frag, and he does just that.
That's just the thing. When you got a second AWP like World Edit, he can collect it, make serious use of it. Oh, surely, just caught the rifle. Oh. World Edit could see him, but he just can't land the shot. He knows he's there, and that's drawing his attention. Meanwhile, Blake goes leaping through the window, in onto site. He could cause a real problem here because they have to worry about World Edit round the side there. They're going to try and push him onto site. That Molly doing damage, but not enough. And Johnny picks himself up a double on site. You can see what it means for him. Delighted. And wow, KILLERFISH finally get themselves a round back. That was 5 rounds running for FlipSide, and that's what it means to them. Get that big cheer going.
Polar opposite, Schneider and Johnny next to each other. Every time Johnny makes a peep or any sort of noise, you just see Schneider going, Jesus Christ. Either way, the team does seem to be gelling quite nicely for what it is, and Blade going to be pressured out of that mid window once again. But this is nice. They've rinsed and repeated it. They basically made them think, get a little worried, get kind of sweaty palms about B, and instead they back away and look to take this one a little slower. Only person who's not taking it slower is Tarsin. You can see him pushing up ramp up towards Tetris, and is only going to be keeping Bondik under wraps for a while. Yeah, him and Bondik exchanging on A ramp there. Bondik managing to back away quickly. Neither actually landed the shots, which is quite impressive when they were both pretty much staring at each other. I think it was like startled in their headlights as soon as they came around the corner and saw each other. Quickly ran away. Schneider once again, the man in apartments, into Palace, sorry, coming around the side. And it is going to be an A here. Davkost is going to be in position just as they come around. Blade at jungle gets flashed out. Bondik's going to be the man that tries to slow them down. Davkost again lands his shot, but Tony replies this time. And now Blade in a real tricky situation in jungle. They know he's here. They're training their sights on him, but Tony with York getting tagged up and just comes around blinded towards World Edit. Easily lands the shot. Yeah, that's not too shabby, and it's going to be even better then as Schneider finds 2. And World Edit has it all to do. You could find potential frag here with just 25 seconds left, and KILLERFISH need to get the bomb down. This actually could spell trouble. That's going to be 1. Tarsin's low, and time's still of the essence. 15 seconds. The nade is going to make it difficult as he gets beautifully ripped apart by Robson with a nade and AK combo. Johnny is screaming at the top of his lungs, and it's probably going to be tamed a little bit, because the problem is, Lee, the problem when you have someone so hyped, so happy to be winning rounds, when you're not, and when they're not loud, it almost exacerbates things. Yeah, when they go just so completely quiet, you're just like, okay. When Johnny's not screaming, then you know things are wrong. Yeah, there's a serious issue, but at the moment, he's happy-go-lucky. When Tony's landing frags like that onto Davkost, it's going to help things out. It is just a pistol for FlipSide, but it can still cause problems. The question is, it's all about economy right now for KILLERFISH. Try and do as much damage as they can without losing any weapons, and Tarsin going down like that's not ideal. Yeah, for sure. I think they're just going to try and take a weapon or 2. They're already taking Tarsin out of the equation. I keep wanting to say Tabson. That H looks dangerously like a B with my bad eyesight. I seem to recall they were on the same team at one time. Oh, that would have killed me. I'm glad. I'm struggling enough with Twist Ben Q, so let's go ahead and leave it for now. As it's going to be the 3 remaining CTs. They have a flash and a couple of P250s, but this should just be an easy pickup for KILLERFISH. They're stacked out on site, and yet they're still coming to be here. World Edit in the usual little boost spot could get drawn attention. Blade's trying to pull their attention this way. If he can get... well, he had his chance. He had his chance, and he waited a little too long. I think he was waiting for the planter to come in, but sadly wasn't expecting the 180 jump-in spin from... I didn't see who it was, actually. But KILLERFISH, nonetheless, 6-5 up. And it seems that each round they're getting that little run going, so another 3 rounds for KILLERFISH. Is it FlipSide's turn to once again get themselves back in there? Yeah, and we're going to find out as this does progress. Let's not forget, though, that this is a rematch. This game has been played earlier today on Mirage between these two teams, and it ended 10-5 in favour of KILLERFIsh on that T side.
Very different game. They were 7-1 up, KILLERFIsh, in that one, and actually could have gone a lot better. It wasn't for FlipSid suddenly picking up some rounds to try and rescue their half, but as it is, they are doing a much better job in this game.
Yeah, I mean, underestimate maybe could be the key word, considering how the scoreline has changed since FlipSid have got a little bit more respect for KILLERFish after their defeat. Oh, Slider gets his chunk taken out of him. World Edit connects a second. Big frag from him as that presence on B is deleted. And it all comes down to this T offensive as they start to swarm.
He was meant to be the distractor as well. He was meant to be the man that sells the fake, but as it was, they were ready and waiting. And that was very easy for Bondik and Davkos to just massacre them on ramp as they made their way up there, and that makes it all square. This is what I was just saying. KILLERFish, they went 3 rounds at the start, gets another 3. Now they've got to worry that FlipSid could go another 5 running if history was to repeat itself. And, well, FlipSid, their economy was struggling, but after that round, it's in perfectly healthy situation. Davkos is going to peek. He's going to be the man to check the corner. They are all coming up mid. That first grade NA actually missed. It hit the front lip. If it had landed, I think Davkos would have gone down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That was very fortunate for him to be still alive, still kicking in this one. Not for long, though, as Snyder finds him. And it's going to be all onto World Edit and Markelov as Johnny finds the head of Blade. This is going the way of KILLERFish unless World Edit and Markelov can pull something miraculous out. They're on either side of the map. Markelov orientating himself towards Connect with World Edit coming up from the CT side. Does find one. He's starting to piece this together, and there's plenty of time. That's for certain as World Edit. He's made it a 2v2.
Make it a 1-on-1 suddenly, actually, tell a lie, because Markelov finds Johnny. Johnny gets the plant down, but Markelov knows where he is.
That's for sure.
Oh, he's giving him a little out. Got the flash down and the tag through the boxes, if only he knew. Now he's only got 8 bullets left in his gun. Oh, Johnny gets away towards... Oh, but he manages to catch him. He will get the defuse. And FlipSid, from a 2-on-4 situation, managed to rescue the round. And KILLERFish are going to be kicking themselves.
And Johnny isn't shouting. Not a peep out of Johnny. In fact, rage as he slams his hand onto the desk, knowing that round should never have gone the way it did. 7-6, a 2 versus 4 scenario, just overthrown by the seasoned veterans of FlipSid, it seems, with World Edit kind of matching the pace of Markelov. And look at him, top of the scoreboard, 15 frags for him. Head and shoulders above the rest, actually, with them sitting around 7 and 8. But this could be the first time we've seen proper weapons. I say proper weapons, there's 2 Tech 9s in there. And it looks like they're not actually going to go for the full execute. It looks like instead they're going to throw their bodies towards ramp, and with shots missing like that, that's going to give them a little bit of leeway.
Well, they managed to get one covered off. Davkos picks himself up another. If he flicks around, he gets himself a second. Doesn't quite complete the hat trick, but Blade is on the hunt. It is only Johnny left. He couldn't handle the 1-on-1 with Markelov a moment ago. God knows what he's going to do in this 1v3. Flash goes out. That's going to slow World Edit down, but it's the 2 over at Jungle he's got to worry about as he manages to re-smoke. Picks himself up an AK, but World Edit's not going to slow down. A smoke can't stop him. Gets on top of Toll Booth and gets an easy kill. 8-6 FlipSid, starting to get a real handle on this match.
Yeah, they have got a solid grasp in the half as well. 8-6 then, as we're going to get going into this final round. Stark contrast to the 5-10.
I like the animation from Blade there, how animated he was. They've won the round. They've just won 3 rounds running, but he's still not happy with the situation. KILLERFish are getting very close to winning these rounds every time.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a statement in itself that they are a competent team. Even when they haven't got that full buy, those Galils and Tech 9s galore for them, and it's going to be all Tech 9s for this one across the board. And let's see if they can pick up the 7th and just close that gap a little more. Try and stave the 9 rounds off from FlipSid for another round or 2. 4 rifles though and nades, 3 mollies still remaining for the CT side as they're going to be ready to slow down this pack of wild KILLERFish.
This is going to be a 5-man train as well, by the looks of it. World Edit's going to be the stopper. Let's see if they can run through. Schneider's going to be the only man that goes into middle. Nobody's looking that way at the moment, so he's going to have free reign if he wants to run around into short. World Edit, what's he got in his pocket to slow them down? Well, just a single flash.
I need to correct myself. Not a pack, a school of killerfish are is about to pour on
the correct one?
Sportspeed.
Well, here they go. They're pouring in, and Markelov with the crossfire once again will manage to land the shots. Gets himself a double. Will that it's turn, but he managed to miss out. Markelov not done yet. Turns around, realised one had come around the side of him, but now he's got the support. Blade's there, Davkos there, and they've still yet to get the plant down. Davkos moves in, got a glimpse of one on bench. That will be Schneider going down. And Tarsin, the last man standing, tries to escape to short. Not going to happen. Davkos gets himself another. And 9-6 is the end half score. FlipSid this time coming out on top. Not going to be a repeat performance for KILLERFISH with their 10-5 T side. Now they have a real test as they move to CT.
And that's going to be a real difference already. Visible difference in the FlipSid team. Can't call them the FlipSid side. That's the one problem. I fell into that trap a few times before. They are the FlipSid team, Lee.
And are they going to make some tactics as well? I mean, there's so many things you can fall into with this too.
Yeah. So 9-6, excuse me, on the half. KILLERFISH not going to be doing as well. Not looking as fresh. See what I did there?
I do.
Going into this second half then, or technically the fourth half. These guys have played exactly the same thing beforehand. And KILLERFISH's T side looked a whole lot better in the first time these two teams met.
Well, they have two going underpass. Waldedit's got top mid control. Schneider's getting a peek down connector, and Tarsin is going to... He's not going to go short. So they've three stacked on B, and that's a bit of a problem because A side's being hit. And FlipSid are completely in control here. Johnny's the sole man around Toll Booth that has vision because jungle is smoked off, so Schneider's got no vision. He does still manage to get Markelov through the smoke. I don't know how the hell he managed to land that shot.
I don't think he does either, but it's going to be then the four players from FlipSid setting themselves up with that bomb down. They're not going to be holding any sort of aggressive angle, it's just going to let them come to him, as it's going to be Tony who does get eliminated. Now, KILLERFISH, they are starting to seize control of that site, and Davkos just making his whereabouts
on the defuse.
Time is of the essence, and that's nice from Bondik, as he does just quickly pop on up the ladder and find the frag onto that diffuser. 20 health, nope, 0 for Tarsin, as that's going to be a very solid start from FlipSid.
I think they were watching Penta a little more intently in that match they played against them. Realised obviously Penta managed to get that 10-second defuse in there through the smoke. I still don't know how the hell I managed to stick that. But that was against FlipSid, of course. They're not going to let that happen against them again.
Now this is interesting. This is actually quite rare. We haven't seen these like 4 SMG buy-ups as much as we used to. And just the one rifle then for FlipSid. And that's of course up against the double scout, and there's full head armor for 2 of the CTs, body for Tony. And so this shouldn't go as well as it could for FlipSid. That's a double, could be a triple, it is! Tony just awakens 3 frags with the 5-7. He's not gonna get the next one though, as Blade does respond with the MP7. So, we're in a level playing field now. 2 unarmored scouts up against an AK and an MP7. They have the nades, that's 2 mollies as well, but then again, that jump scout should be able to catch a glimpse of someone as...
He knows Markelov's, they tagged him!
Why didn't he peek with an SMG? Foolish from Markelov.
Schneider so close to landing that. They know where they both are. They know there's one Tetris, they know there's one Palace. This is going to be easy for them. There's the Palace man, and now it is all on Blade. Where is he going to go? He's going to get the bomb plant down. How'd they allowed him to get into sight when they had it perfectly crossed off? Doesn't matter, they've both gone that way now. And it's an AK with 12 hit points. He's looking the opposite direction, but he could line this up perfectly. It's going to get... No! Robson came in with pistol. They knew he was tagged. They knew he was low. Double pistol work, and Johnny goes hyper. KILLERFISH pick themselves up the round. Let's see what they can do with it.
I mean, yeah, I know, you get his team hype, getting behind his team. Really, really big round there from KILLERFISH. That was off the back of Tony. 3 frags with a 5-7 and body armor. And of course, that also is a little bit in the hands of FlipSid with their 4 SMG buy-up. They charged straight on into an armored 5-7 and fell flat.
The double scout's something we've seen a lot of as well over the last 2 or 3 months, I guess, of Counter-Strike. You know, we've seen a lot of teams going with it. Even the triples, someone coming out sometimes from Kinguin, as we saw in our research for this tournament. But
Counterpit, yeah.
Yeah. But as it is, you know, it works out. If you've got the pistols to back it up, it was Schneider with the scout at the back, and then they had the pistols come around, pick up that triple. Fantastic stuff. So, how are FlipSid going to react to this one? Because losing out second round, it's almost become a common practice in Counter-Strike these days. Davkos with the bomb going underpass with World Edit. Nobody really covering off short because they were so worried about Markelov over on B. It's drawn their attention completely away from mid. Johnny, the only man looking at connector, could be the big connector here.
Yeah, that's a nice smoke as well. Just kind of block out jungle. As we're going to be seeing Tony attempt to hold with the scout. He starts strong. That's going to be well that it down, and he's actually going to connect a couple with the P250 as well. Warning shots, perhaps, as his teammates are going to start to fall around him. Davkost using that AK. Put any weapon in his hands at this point, and he will be instrumental. He's picked up 2 in this round. Still has 26 points
Blade behind them
to work with. Hello, Blade. He's going to have so much time to work with. He takes his time, and he takes 2 as well. KILLERFISH down, and that's going to be another for FlipSid. 11-7 the score, and I didn't get a chance to really see FlipSid in that first game. Of course, I was casting, but this feels, and I can say it, that this is not the same FlipSid that competed against KILLERFISH. This feels like FlipSid, who have kind of had a big discussion and said, we lose this, we go home.
Very much first game of the day, I feel, that last one. FlipSid, KILLERFISH, but this time it looks like they're in serious business. Johnny and Tony going aggressive in Palace, but Blade will find himself one. But that is all. That's going to be the Galil going across to Tony. And actually maybe enough to slow FlipSid's progress. They've gone with a fake this time. They're throwing the smokes out to A. That's drawn the attention. Tarshin, Schneider and Tony all there. But Tony has got full vision. He's like, they are not here. They're not coming. Which means the rotate is on. So they're not falling for it. They're heading back towards B side. Tarshin running up mid. He's going to find World Edit. And he gets him. And that's caused a serious problem. FlipSid now, what are they going to do? Are they going to go straight into B side anyway? Yes, they will. But I feel KILLERFISH are going to rotate and be here in time.
Yeah, Robson does have a CZ at that kind of medium range, and that's not going to be perfect, not by any stretch of the imagination. And so it's Tony and a Galil versus 3. And if you're missing shots like that, it should most definitely be the 12 for FlipSid. Just probably best to kind of walk away from this one.
Just give up. Just miss that many shots, just walk away, man.
just kind of hang your head and look towards the next round. So FlipSid getting ever closer towards that 16 and a chance to continue. Keep that that dream of a spot at the major alive.
World Edit now with your... So they have decided to change things up on the T side, as they did on Overpass earlier on against Penta. Let's see what he does with this one. It's going to be another game, set smokes, all coming in towards A side. Johnny and Tony are going to be in the way though. Blade's about to come around the corner. Tony is ready and waiting, but he doesn't manage to land that shot with the P250. And now FlipSid move in. Johnny, the one man that could cause an upset, but Markelov ready and waiting for that. Tarsin just trying to let loose some shots through the smoke. He catches a nade, and this is going to be a very easy round for FlipSid, barring Schneider, the one man left in jungle, trying to recoup anything he can. But solid, clean round from FlipSid. That's going to make it 13-7, just 3 rounds. You feel like cruising now.
Yeah, I think that's probably a nice way to summarize them. I don't think you should peek. You're probably going to catch one if they do push window. Now might work out in his favor, and it does. He takes Markelov down and out, and that's something he can at least take that away from it. But 13 now for FlipSid. Things are heating up for KILLERFISH, and they're not going to be able to have a glorious buy, that's for certain. No head armor across the board. Tony and Johnny barely scraping together any utility whatsoever. Hell, Tony just bought a decoy so he can have something to throw. Well,
FlipSid's economy is great. Meanwhile, on the other side, this time they're actually looking to maybe change things up. Bondic going to be the sole man over on A. They've made a lot of A hits. Haven't gone to B too often. Robson will spot out World Edit, but not going to land the shot. And the second one misses as well. So World Edit has not too much action with this AWP. It's still not too successful. Davkost making his way through underpass. He's going to be able to find out. There's 3 stacked at the top of connector.
Doesn't know why they're going to be kind of receiving anything as of yet. It's actually Tarsin, he finds one. As here comes Blade and Davkost. They're trying to do this kind of double duo, and it works to an extent. That's going to be a 3 versus 3. Such a crucial round now. They have weapons, and they're not going to have it in the next one if they fluff this one, and it's going to happen again. Bondic then onto Robson, and now all onto Tarsin and Schneider. And the hopes of KILLERFISH are starting to dwindle. Schneider caught a glimpse of Davkost as he went in towards jungle there. Oh, and there we go. Suddenly it's a real problem FlipSid. Markelov, he's going to try and retrace his tracks, but Schneider, reading the situation, gets control, and now they sit in mid. They can split off either direction. Look, Tarsin sat ready to burst into A or B. Schneider on short. Will he hear the footsteps? Markelov's not moving slowly yet. Here's the footsteps. And he's going to be ready for this drop. Look at this, Molly onto site. Slow things down, 15 seconds on the clock. That's going to cause a real problem. Markelov just has to try and land some shots here. He actually does get the counter smoke to try and get that bomb down in it. He's got it. Remove that Molotov. Yeah, but where do you go from here? To be fair, Tarsin low, and he's actually the one going on the offensive. That should be... That's a big error. And Markelov exploits it very nicely, exposing the weakness within this retake. And He now has to hunt down just one man. It is Schneider. Of course, previously holding for 1337. He's going to try and do it. He does, as he finds the head of Markelov. He knew where he would be hiding. There was only so many positions he could have got to. And he does secure the round for KILLERFISH. Crucial then from Schneider. Picked up 2 in that round and also secured the 8th for KILLERFISH. Very much needed. And their money and their economy will start to look a little better. As they're going to be able to still get a couple of nades. In fact, yeah, I am saying a whole lot more nades.
Yeah, I mean, it was, at the end of the day, it was still a one-on-one, which has caused problems for KILLERFISH. Obviously, they were flat broke in the last round. They went down to a one-on-one, which, again, means there's going to be just 2 FAMASes for Robson and Tarsin. Meanwhile, FlipSid could easily afford to just buy everything straight back there. This time they've got a double stack in Palace, and that's going to find Tony. Tony wide open as Blade manages to come around into Dark. He'll take him down, and now they've got full A control, completely smoked off. This is going to be a real tricky retake for KILLERFISH. Schneider making the rotate around the back, but World Edit was ready and waiting.
So Robson and Johnny got 5 Ts away awaiting them, excuse me. Johnny onto Davkos, though. That's going to be something, and this FAMAS and M4 are going to have to pick up a whole lot of kills if they want any sort of chance. I think they're going to have to realize that their best chances are taking 2 rifles into the next. But regardless, that's going to put 14 for FlipSid, and that's going to give them even less margin for error. As it looks like he's just going to hold steady on towards Connector. T-side wisely escaping through Palace and Ramp, getting themselves back to T-spawn, back to where they started, and 14 on the board.
FlipSid looking pretty confident here to go through and face Dignitas in the lower bracket finals. Dignitas already, of course, lost out to Kinguin, who are the first team to qualify through the European Qualifiers. They're going to be there in the major. It's going to be August 22nd, 23rd. Blade leading his team to victory here. Now, FlipSid, they made it to Katowice, the last major qualifiers. Now, they're in the offline qualifier. Worked well for them. Can they do it again? Dignitas, however, lost out last time. So there really is a bit of a nasty story setting up for them. I hope that last loss to Kinguin wasn't too heavy for them.
Yeah, I mean, the point I made was that could be the kick, you know? That could be what Dignitas need. They're the fear of that happening again.
And you heard Pimp in the interview basically saying how they were by far the big favourites in the group. So we are the favourites in the group. They didn't believe that Kinguin had any right to that position, and to be picked apart as they were on T-side, they're going to be a little upset by that.
Yeah, understandably so. But back into the game in hand, it looks like Tarsin and Tony, the 2 rifles, going to be falling apart. And Tony down now. 50% of that firepower has been sliced by Davkos. This is going to be the aforementioned to go down to the CZ. Here we go then, as the 2 CTs desperately trying to keep this site safe. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Markelov shakes his head with a double, and it's 15. And KILLERFISH, where is your money? It's not there, and it looks like FlipSid are going to be meeting Dignitas unless something incredible happens in this round. Armor, nades, as much as they can cobble together. 357s, a Deagle and a CZ to keep KILLERFISH in it.
For FlipSid, it's just a solid performance across the board. It's a really good kill spread. Nobody running away with it. Everybody doing their job, and that's exactly what you want from a team of 5 members. And now, match point. FlipSid to reach the lower bracket finals. Dignitas await. KILLERFISH just with pistols. You got to assume that FlipSid will take this with ease. They've cruised on the T side. Robson over on B, expecting somebody to come his way. It's mid-control that will be gained in a moment by FlipSid as World Edit with his AWP starts to prowl, starts to look, trying to find some heads. He's got the backup of Blade and Davkos. Everything covered off here. KILLERFISH with a real tough task here. I can't see them closing this up.
I mean, they are on CT. FlipSid has to come to them. That's something. Let's see if they can boost on up. And actually, yeah, that's pretty nice from Davkos. He's going to have the perfect angle on towards Schneider once that smoke does dissipate. But in the meantime, Johnny and Schneider making it work. That's going to be a double. And hell, this could be another one. Oh, it is. Tarsin finds the frag as Davkos walks straight on into his Deagle.
And Robson's gone looking for kills as well. World Edit just around the corner. What on earth? This is one of those situations you just think this surely can't happen. World Edit does check the corner, finds the head, just blitzes
What game is this?
But Tarsin at bench, he could be a real problem. Markelov's going to be the one that will come this way. Oh, he turned away, goes for the bomb planter, spins across. Markelov, the last man. He's got to get inside, but Johnny manages to find him from pistols. KILLERFISH pick up the round. Now, FlipSid were in a similar situation against Penta and Drag. It went all the way to overtime. Surely to God they can't do it again.
I had something with Johnny playing it safe, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it. As it's gonna
you said it anyway.
15-9. And it looks like Davkos is going to be smoked out. That's solid from the CTs. They want to try and lock Davkos out of the early round, because when he is given any stretch of freedom, he certainly knows how to exploit it.
Looks like he's got some good cover at the moment. He's in dark. Bondic, though, coming from Palace. Davkos from ramp, trying to catch any glimpse. Davkos and Will did it on this double AWP. They've not been able to find any frags. Johnny's going aggressive here. He's going to chase down Davkos and manages to find the kill. That might upset things here. Bondic's still at Palace, and 3 of them, meanwhile, coming from Connector. They have a little cover off. Tony at window could really upset this one. He's going to find World Edit around the back in window. Doesn't manage to get the kill, but he finally will. And now, look at Markelov coming just running straight through there.
Robson was tying his shoes. It's going to be Markelov who gets the second as well onto Johnny. 2 versus 2. Blade goes down. He only had 2 points of health. Good God, it could be another one. It is. Tony finds the head of Markelov. 15-10. You said they made this mistake before. And with an eco coming up, I think it is. It's going to be an eco for them. Probably pistols, maybe a rifle for Markelov, and it is actually going to be that.
What? Okay, maybe he's just equalizing the money. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think he had about 6 grand, so it's going to be protect the Markelov.
So right, we used to see if it works. I mean, the KILLERFISH won a pistol round, so who knows when these anti-ecos work out sometimes. They have mid-control. Tony's going to get a peek around. Tony with an AWP, so Tony rocking it this time around. Going to get a little peek across there. 4 of them, all coming his way. He better back away, yeah. Bondic may actually catch a glimpse of him in Palace. I think Tony just got a glimpse of the feet. Doesn't manage to land that shot, but that grenade, if they push on through, will catch them. They don't. They slow things down. And that smoke will actually do Tony favours as they push into window.
Yeah, Blade got a great shot there onto Johnny, so that's going to be one man down trying to defend the site, as they are going to use Connector as their entrance in towards the site. Davkos actually could do some damage here if he tries to, if he doesn't go for the bomb, but until a lie, he's actually going to go straight for that plant, and he's going to be perfectly guarded off by Markelov. That one rifle has done world of good as the bomb goes in, and the CTs, they have to play for retake here. If FlipSid win this game, if they win this game 16-10 because of one rifle, just as I start to get excited, KILLERFISH dash those dreams as Schneider and Tarsin do find one apiece. Markelov does continue with the AK though, and it all falls onto the...
He could get the diffuser, that's all he needs to do. Oh, he peaked a little too early though. And that will be KILLERFISH picking up their 11th round. FlipSid, they're not done yet, but they will be able to get rifles in this next round. The money is back in their favour. And now they need to just take a breather, slow down, realise they are on match point. They still have 4 of those match points in their bag to finish off this match.
Yeah, how many... what have they got in their box of tricks, KILLERFISH? What have they got that they can surprise FlipSid for another 4 rounds? Let's hope that... FlipSid continues to just
they're pushing mid.
Clearly, and they are pushing mid. This is one of those tricks we were just talking about. And actually, you know what? Davkos is sitting and waiting for it. I'm not sure what the indicator was, but they have completely caught onto it. But then again, Robson wins out in that aim duel. He's backing away as he's happy just to lower those numbers and then retreat back into the A side. All 3 that were in mid are now back on A.
Yeah, that was a great little cover off. Nicely played by KILLERFISH. Read the situation very well. And to be fair to FlipSid, they also read it, but just that one-on-one duel, they weren't better off. Johnny's got himself in sandwich this time, so he's expecting something to come from A round, but Bondic's still sitting in T-spawn, awaiting with that bomb. World Edit, Markelov going, looking, probing. World Edit's trying to find some sort of pick over on Tarsin. Now, he's missed a couple of shots here before. I think this is the opener they're hoping they can get.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, it's so hard to hit that shot. It's a hitbox that you really, I mean, you struggle. If they know how to do it, if they land on the lower ground and jump from the lower as well. It's a lovely little mound which enables you to just keep your hitbox so damn hidden. Devil Walk was showing me the intricacies of holding B from there.
Schneider's going to rotate. He's coming in towards Tarsin's just around the side. Schneider's in kitchen, so there's going to be a 3-man setup here from KILLERFISH as they bust through. This is a good little crossfire.
This is solid. Tarsin does go down to Blade, though. Blade managed to get kind of right into the site by surprise. It's a 2v2, and now Johnny and Tony are fighting for their team survival.
Tony has to slow down. He's got to wait for Johnny to come in, or he could just come running around the corner and shooting through window. Bondic, the last man, flashed up. Now he's already got the bomb plant down, so he just has to play this cool, dodge around the columns. It's not going to happen. Johnny will find him, and it will be a defuse. 15-12. Johnny without a kit, actually. Tony had one, but you know what? Doesn't need it. So they can collect up everything they need, and they managed to find a smoke and a molly. So that's going to save them a bit of cash. They're going to be able to pass that off. KILLERFISH,
wow,
not out the game just yet. Fighting for survival in this qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, this is insanity. And you know what? It's just got a little bit more insane, as I'm pretty sure I just saw an auto. Yeah, Tony going to get the tac-tac out, or the dak-dak, as it's been dubbed. And looks like...
That's the Aussies.
Where's he taking that? It is, yeah, Mitch calls it that.
Yeah.
And he's going to be holding towards mid-window with the auto-sniper. Well, then it was not anticipating that. That's a double with it! And it does most definitely make FlipSid question their choices, as that's going to be a real big pickup. Yes, he has 12 points of health, but he's already done the damage. And Tony, just the round prior, saved his team with the AWP as well.
And FlipSid are not going to have a great deal of money in the next round. That's going to be, I'm worried. 15-13, that could be, we could be going to tie game here. What is going on? FlipSid were what, 15-8, 15-9?
Yeah.
How have they let it slip to this situation? Pressure very much mounting on them. Just Markelov making his way around to a ramp. Davkost is going to join him, but Johnny's the man that's already been aggressive around that ramp. He's going to be lurking just in that smoke off the side. Markelov, I don't think he's going to be expecting this, or maybe he is.
Yeah, I think Johnny's actually going to realise that smoke's about to disappear, backing away, and Markelov's just going to emerge through it like a superhero. Nice. He's going to fight too. That's Markelov. That is why they gave him the rifle. And it looks like he's going to be going down alongside Davkost. So
can they get the auto sniper back?
I don't
Schneider, I think he did. I think Schneider got it. No, he didn't. Oh.
But 15-8, you were right. 15-8 at one point. Now 15-13, and they are going for the...
They're forcing it.
Force?
Take nines.
Me. No, they've got... Okay, they still have a... Yeah, they've got the full buy coming up.
Yeah, they will do in the last round. The last round will be the full buy. Ooh, where is Dway's going to go? World Edit's got himself at the top. Tony took a blast at him, but didn't manage to land. They've got a 3-stack on B side because they're expecting this force. They're expecting something, maybe a quick rush in towards B. Schneider and Robson on short, expecting a quick burst around the corner because that window has been smoked off. Tony's going to back up Johnny over on A side, so they have everything covered off here. This is going to be a real tricky task for FlipSid, but they're going to have to burst through.
Yeah, that's going to be the kind of only hope. And I mean, with 3 players on B, they are so ready for it. Markelov does emerge, checks his corners, and the molly actually from Schneider is going to slow them down. Time, not going to be a problem just yet. And looks like they have changed their mind. They're going to be heading on towards the domain of Johnny, as he's the one towards window.
And Robson and Schneider would have heard this. They're hearing these footsteps.
Oh, but there is still one in Palace, though. Don't forget about Bondic.
Yeah, Tony is covering off the side. Here they come. Johnny's going to catch them in the crosshair. We'll get 2, 3 through the smoke. Robson. That was brilliant. They knew exactly what was happening, and they just massacred FlipSid. It's 15-14. We're on to the final round, the 30th round. FlipSid surely can't go to another tiebreak here. Johnny rallying his troops, cheering on KILLERFISH from an insane situation. From pistols at 15-9.
6 rounds in a row then for KILLERFISH, and it's no longer FlipSid, it's FlopSid, as they are looking so weak, so limp in this round. And then the dak-dak, as it's been highlighted, there's a double one. It's going to be Tony and Snyder trying to make something happen with it. They just come out and well that it does provide the catch. As this, if this goes into overtime, I don't know where FlipSid's mind is going to be. It's not going to be in a good position, as that's another one for World Edit. They backs away.
They've been sat waiting for World Edit to land their shot on B every single round. You know, every time he gets an AWP, he goes there, tries to land that opener. But Tarsin seems just too clever. He's not falling for it. He just gets that little jump and peek. I mean, he is the in-game leader for them as far as I'm aware, so he just keeps on getting that peak going. He's like, it's all right, guys, don't worry, I got this. Delays them, and again, Davkost and Blade looking to go connector. Now, Robson just got himself a triple, I think it was, from short. He's well aware of this connector move they're going to go for, and they're set ready and waiting for it. Schneider, with the auto sniper, don't forget, can quickly turn and train his gun towards this connector. Bondic, World Edit, Markelov, though, they're going to break through. Only Tarsin on B side. This is deadly.
He does have an incendiary, and they only have 29 seconds. That's a perfectly timed Molotov. They're going to have to make a decision. It's decision time. They throw the smoke. This is smart. They managed to kind of give themselves a little bit more time for the execute.
Davkos coming through. He's going to get caught out. Tony should find him. That's going to be him taken down. And Tuss is doing a fantastic job. There's only 14 seconds left. Bondic has to get in on site. Blade comes around the side. They managed to cut them down. They've got control of site. Schneider comes around. He's not able to land the shots. It's only Johnny, the last man standing. They've got the bomb plant down. It's a 1-on-3. Johnny, to try and keep his team in the tournament. Take it to overtime. He's going to get a tag down. He's in trouble. The spray's not landing. FlipSid will close the game out. By God, were they pushed all the way. But it will be 16-14 this time to FlipSid. Holy cow. They choked hard in that game. But in the end, it doesn't matter because they took it. You got to take your hats off. Poor old KILLERFISH. They turned up and really performed in this qualifier.
Yeah, that's a name I won't be forgetting quickly. KILLERFISH have demonstrated that there is solid ability there, and I have no doubt that Blade's going to be saying to them, GG, a legitimate GG. That was a real hard-fought game from them. Yes, there were some kind of less than ideal situations from FlipSid, and they didn't quite play the true FlipSid game. We've seen it, you know, occasion on occasion, and it has been quite literally a few times as of late for FlipSid, but they do have this potential within them, and they're going to have a chance to show it up against Dignitas in the lower bracket.
Yeah, we're just one step closer. That's all they've got to go now. Dignitas in front of them. It's not going to be an easy task, and Dignitas will be watching onto that, probably gaining confidence after their Kinguin result, seeing that FlipSid struggled to close out the game, and Dignitas will take a lot from that. Crazy stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Just one match remains in Group A. It is going to be the lower bracket final, and that one single place will go to either Dignitas or FlipSid. Yeah, who knows who the hell it's going to be, because that game, you know, honestly, I still don't understand how FlipSid let it get so close.
Yeah, it's the randomness of KILLERFISH. It's FlipSid maybe not feeling as confident in themselves. I mean,
but they're down against Pistols at 15-8. I think it was 59.
It's how the cookie crumbles. I'm going to use that expression.
The cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
The cookie crumbled entirely. So let's see how hard that cookie crumbled, because FlipSid have got a big task ahead of them. It's Markelov standing by with Pansy.
Thank you so much, guys. And a little bit tired now. I can imagine a long game just there. And of course, this is Markelov from FlipSid. You guys, you'll know who he is. Like, there's no need to introduce you by now. I'll get to like the serious questions, but that game was so close. How did it get that close? It seemed like you were leading for so long, and then suddenly you dropped the ball. Like, what happened?
We was trying to pick one by one on our spots, and they just out-aim us. On the middle, on the lower ramp on the A side. Everyone just want to end it as fast as possible, and we made a lot of mistakes because of it. But overall, we managed to come back in the last round. Our in-game leader Blade was like, screw you all, I'm gonna take it by myself. And everything went okay.
Well, a nice close one to get you warmed up for what could be, you know, another game that's going to be probably very close as well. But let's also talk about your choice. Davkos AWPing over World Edit there. He was actually doing on the CT side especially. Is that a recent change or something you've been working on for a while?
We just didn't want to change a lot on our T side since Simple left the team and can't play on ESL. So the World Edit is our main AWP on T side. But Davkos, as he is, he's just an old player. He's not that good with the rifles. So on the city side, he's playing with main AWP.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, let's talk about the map pool, but against your next opponent, because, of course, Dignitas is going to be coming up next. Do you feel your map pool works well against them, or do you think it might be limited? Where do you think your strengths are you not sure?
I didn't think about that, because such thing, it's all about our in-game middle Blade, so he's going vetoes and his mastermind or something like that, I don't know. I'm just sitting and playing, that's all, I don't know.
That's pretty decent. So how do you feel going up against Dignitas? Obviously they're, you know, a big opponent, good team. Do you guys feel confident? Do you feel warmed up now? You've had a very tough game. I guess that kind of works for you. Do you think you could maybe do something pretty good here?
It's just all about the mistakes. If we'll play like our normal steel play, we can handle it. If we'll like shaking hands, like nervous, we can lose. So it's all depends on us.
And as a team, do you guys, obviously with Simple gone, there's no need to ask you guys about that again. Do you think now with the team you have, you feel, in a good position to go forward? Do you think you've lost something, a lot there? Or do you think you can make up the difference with the team you now have?
Of course, we lost a lot of firepower in our team, that's for sure. But our chemistry is like a billion times better now. So, I don't know, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, I guess it kind of balances out a little bit. So, KILLERFISH, everyone's saying they have a very puggy style, like super aim dependent. You've got to be quite calm. Dignitas, do you think they have a similar style or more tactical, more calm, more, standard?
Dignitas is pretty much combine these things. Sometimes they can play by the aim and sometimes doing the strats. Good thing for us that we know almost any of their strats, so it's thanks to our Blade leader once again.
Yeah, Blade seems to be a big part of your team, of course. Now, how do you guys prepare for these events? Do you anti-strat specific teams, or would you maybe just work on your own? Or, who did you aim to anti-strat if you do?
Actually, we didn't. So we basically just try to practice as much as we can with the DAF cost, and we played a lot. Just played maps and left the tactical things.
Well, that makes sense. Good luck in your next game. Guys, it's been a pleasure so far. These guys have another incredibly tough game, so hopefully Markelov can, do another good job and Blade can tell him what to do. But guys, we're going to a very short break, and when we're back, it's the last game of the day.